Hello and welcome to another edition of Steve's Backyard Bonsai. So I want to come back to my Alberta spruce for one reason only. I'm not going to prune it today, but look how nice it has recovered. This was significant root work, a lot of deep breaths and hopes and dreams. I took the wire off because I just didn't want it to start biting, and I need to now come back and bring these down. It's only been a few weeks, but they're springing back up. I like the spring up at the end because that's very natural for a spruce. I don't want to cut anything just yet, but I will be coming in after I weight these down. I am not going to wire them. I'm not going to put weights either. I don't want to drill holes in my pot, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do instead of that. This is another little Steve invention. So I ran this wire around the bottom or the top of the pot, and there's these little ridges which will keep it in place if I position this correctly. But I don't know why we ended up with so many of these little split rings, but we got a ton of them. So I'm just gonna put these split rings all along here and on the other side here before I tighten it up. And that's what I'm gonna use to guy wire the branches. This way I don't wreck my pot. It's only growing out in this thing. This is going to be nice. If I can keep this thing alive, I want to set these branches down so that they at least don't spring up close to the trunk. You know, I can always rewire it or take wire off when I show. Wiring is such a pain. I'm sure it's therapeutic for some, but for me it's a pain. So I'm going to show you a couple of these, then I'll go into fast mode. I may have to employ some sort of tool to help me. Shouldn't have trimmed my nails. This is steel going on aluminum, so I expect it to mark it up quite a bit. Another use for an artist's palette knife. I just got to figure out a better way to start these things. Okay, that's on there. Just got to get a bunch more on here, and then we're home free. All right, see you on the other side of this. That really hurt my fingernails. All right, I got 6 on each side of this wire, which should be plenty, I hope. Now I've got to tighten that wire and position it with these kind of evenly spaced. And I want to do it just above these bumps, because that'll keep it from slipping down. And you got to think of everything, you know? All right, let me tighten it up a little. It was fairly tight before, but I've been jostling with it. And as it slips down, it loosens, so it's a crime to make you watch this. So I'll speed it up. All right, so this didn't turn out as slick as I'd hoped it would, but I think I can make it work. And what I'm going to do is just tie down branches to these, move them around as necessary, and it should self-tighten because it can't really slip up much further. If I do it all evenly, it can definitely slip down, but it can't really slip up much further. So if I'm pulling in an upward direction, I think I'll be okay. All right, I'm going to start wiring, and I'll show you what I'm doing periodically. I think you get the idea already. You're looking at approximately the original front of this tree. I had said that I'm going to reevaluate it, and there's lots more I can do with this tree. There's branches developing that are in good spots. So I'm going to keep going with this tree, but I do want to get these set as far back on the branch as I can. And that's what these are going to do for me, I hope. All right. Let me get going on that. I'm going to be wiring to a branch with rubber over the top. I'm just going to take 2 wraps around with the loose end and then come down and pick a spot for this to be pulled down to. This tubing should be sufficient. Nice and flexible, and I'm going to split it down one end. So I'll cut short pieces and split them down one end. Okay, let's just do one. All right, so I want this branch down. So I've got this split. I'm going to put it right here. Now I don't have a tight fit on this, so what I'm going to do is take off a little, and it'll close tighter. Take off a little lengthwise. And when I put some wire around it, it'll close tighter. So that won't close tight enough. A little more. Be careful if you have a dog, because they like to eat little things that drop on the floor. All right, I'm going to want to pull that down, but I think I want to pull it down from further down. I'll get a better angle all around. So is that going to tighten up good enough and not slip? Maybe not. Take a little bit more off of this. I hope you see what I'm doing. If I take a little bit more off of this, it'll close tighter and hopefully won't damage the branch. That's the intention. Yeah, that's what I want to do right there. And I'll position one of these, cut a piece of wire that's approximately the right size. Okay, this should do it. And I'll get better at sizing this as I go along. So I'm going to want to take 2 turns around at the top. Okay. Now it's very loose on that branch, but it's stuck in one position. I'll tighten that a little bit because it's where I want it. Now that won't move on the branch. So let me find a little ring that works. I don't want that one. I'll take this one. Slip this through. I don't want to pull sideways, so I want the ring to end up where it doesn't pull sideways. think I want to come down even more. Maybe even a little more. Gotta be careful. I can always make adjustments later on. I don't want this wire getting pulled off the top. It's going to tighten each time I do this. So I did one on one side. Nice casualty. An earlier casualty. I want to do one on this side now, just to keep it even. I got to do this one, and I'll line that one up right here. Okay, got a piece of wire, approximately the right size, just a little oversized. So I think I want to grab it here, like right here, and split this down the middle. Get a trial fit. Way too loose. Take a chunk off. All right, you get the picture. I'm going to do this in fast motion. Okay, this monstrosity now has guy wires all over it. I hope I don't have trouble watering it now. I have so many wires pulling in this direction, it sort of was leaning, so I had to add a guy wire here, and I did wire one branch. It comes out at a strange angle, but I like how it fills up this area, with this being the front. And there is going to be some trimming to open it up here a little bit, these inside branches, but I wanted to get those guy wires on there, and I'm going to leave them on for a while. This one maybe not so much. It's very loose, but I like it. I think it's coming along. So that's the front. So the Alberta spruce is going back on the bench, and we'll look at it another day. Not too far in the future. I've got a lot of choices now of branches, and I got to be very selective. All right. Thanks again for keeping me company in my backyard.